The Ball family is easily one of the more controversial elements in the NBA presently. Not necessarily because of the two Ball brothers and LaMelo and Lonzo being controversial per se, but because of their father and how he tried to invade the NBA despite him not being the person on the ball court. Thankfully, things eventually worked out to where the brothers got to focus more on their ball skills, and for LaMelo, he has impressed everyone in terms of what he has been able to do on the court. But in case you don't know him that well, allow us to show you 6 things you didn't know about LaMelo Ball. Number 6. Net worth. So, given that LaMelo Ball is a second-year player in the NBA, you would expect him to be worth a little money, but not a lot of it. But what exactly does that equate to? Well, because he was a number 3 pick in the NBA draft, he got a very lucrative NBA contract, one that measured up to about $35 million over 4 years. So when you divide that by 4, you get a little bit less than $9 million a year. But naturally, he doesn't just get the contract money, he also gets endorsement money. And especially with his play so far in the NBA, there are many who are wanting him for their brands. As such, his current value in terms of net worth is that of $10 million. And that's a lot, and LaMelo knows it. In fact, he was criticized before the NBA draft because of a jewelry purchase he made, and some wondered if he was going and spending his NBA money already. But he said he wasn't going to spend it at all, stating that he is smarter than that. Now, given the history of the Ball family, that may not be the wisest thing to state. However, if he is serious and if he does save that money and uses it later or uses it to expand his brand, that would be quite the lifestyle decision, wouldn't you say? And that would easily make him smarter than most who come into the NBA and think that their money from their rookie contracts will last them as long as they want. But as we all know, that's not the case at all, but we'll see how it plays out. Number 5. His journey towards the NBA. A big part of his lifestyle right now is how he takes care of himself in the NBA. But before then, a big part of his life was just getting him ready for the league itself. There's a lot of ways to get into the NBA if you know what you're doing, and most would agree that the Ball family knows all of those aforementioned paths. While brother Lonzo Ball went and carved it up in college via UCLA, who just had a run for the ages in the NCAA tournament, LaMelo had a different path. Mainly, he went and played in international leagues like the NBL, and he did very well there. In fact, when his team went to Australia to play a game, they apparently sold out the stadium. This play also serves as a benefit for the Charlotte Hornets, because as we all likely know, college is a great assessor of skills and talent, but there's also a steep jump from that to the NBA, as many draft buffs will tell you. However, with LaMelo playing in international leagues that arguably have some better talent than the college teams LaMelo would have been playing in, he got to be closer to what he would do in the realm of the NBA. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, but right now he is pretty much killing it. What's more, you could argue that this helps his mindset in regards to doing what it takes to win, refining his core style, and so on. And again, so far, he's doing well. He did get hurt in his rookie season, but not before impressing everyone and showing off his true talent. So now imagine what he might be able to do this season if he stays healthy. Number 4, the Ball family. Arguably, the most important thing about LaMelo Ball and what he is bringing to the NBA is that unlike his brother in Lonzo Ball, who is currently with the Chicago Bulls, he didn't come into the NBA with a lot of hype. In fact, he had almost had anti-hype, because while he was considered to be a high draft pick, and he would get selected number 3 overall, many were doubtful that he'd do much better than his brother. After all, Lonzo was a very highly touted player after making a big splash in college. But he only stayed there 1 year, and as many have noticed, that may have hurt him because he's not been playing up to his presumed level. It also didn't help that his infamous father was doing everything he can before Lonzo got drafted to make him feel like the biggest thing around, even going so far as when he got drafted to say that he was going to be one of the greatest Lakers ever. Except he wasn't, not even close. He was traded by the Lakers not long into his run with them, and now he's on his 3rd team in just a few years in the league. That's not what was expected of him by all accounts. For LaMelo, his father wasn't as much of an influence on him in terms of hype and building him up, and that made him very level-headed in certain ways as he was prepping for the NBA draft. He noted that while it's true that people didn't believe in him and his skills, he knew his own talent and proved it overseas. So he was more than ready to go and bust up the league to prove that he was ready for them. And he did that just in his own way. Number 3, adapting. LaMelo Ball seized the attention of the NBA in his rookie season with his highlight reel passes and a surprising ability to score. One of those people captivated by him includes Charlotte Hornets owner Michael Jordan. The 6-time NBA champion said when the Hornets selected Ball with the number 3 overall pick, They hoped the crafty 6'6" point guard would eventually rise to the level of becoming an all-star. Jordan likes the way Ball is trending. I think Melo has adjusted to the NBA game better than any of us ever thought this early in his career, Jordan told the Associated Press in an email. He has exceeded our expectations so far this season. Now think about that. Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, sorry LeBron, says that LaMelo has exceeded his expectations, and that's great, especially since MJ isn't always the best when it comes to making draft picks that help his team out. So that shows that while still young in the NBA, he's making waves, and Michael Jordan isn't the only one to say that LaMelo is something special on the court. He's the real deal, Jazz guard Donovan Mitchell said. Warriors forward Draymond Green recently tweeted that LaMelo is a problem. Right now, with the way things look, he looks like an NBA Rookie of the Year to me, Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle said. He's getting it done statistically. Their team is winning. He's got energy. He's got a vibe. He's got swagger. If you like watching players that play with flair, he's right up there. Said Hornets coach James Borrego, his growth, his fearlessness, his ability to bounce back even when things don't go his way on one end of the floor, he's a special kid. If he continues to get that praise as the second season pushes on, it'll prove he's much more than anyone thought he would be. Number 2, pushing himself. Ball was very much about going and pushing himself further and further so that he could grow once he got into the league. He is willing to do what needs to be done and what his coach needs of him. Me being me, I'm never going to say putting me on the bench was something smart or good to do, Ball said. It always feels when I'm on the court I'm helping. But I think one of the reasons is because we didn't have no summer league, so he probably wanted to ease me into it. And once the easing was done, the results showed. He won Rookie of the Month multiple times, including in March when he got injured. Number 1, the future. What is the future of LaMelo Ball? Well, he definitely has the skills to go and be in the NBA for a long time. But for how long and how well he'll do in his tenure is well and truly up to him. He's got the talent and the scoring ability, and the Hornets clearly want to build a team around him so they can go far. But what his future holds is yet to be determined. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at LaMelo Ball and what he's doing both inside the game of basketball and outside of it? Do you feel that he honestly has the ability to go and elevate his team to a high level? Do you feel that he could very easily outshine his brother in the long run once he gets more experience? What do you think will happen with the Ball brothers next? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.